كلمتان حبيبتان إلى الرحمن.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله وكفى، والصلاة والسلام على عباد الله الذين اصطفى، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we mark a unique date in the calendar of the Muslim world, and to show our solidarity in particular with Dr. Aafia Siddiqui, who has been held in the dungeons of Bagram in the secret prisons in Pakistan and ultimately been convicted unjustly in one of the courts of the United States of America, where she continues to be held in conditions that we would not wish for the worst of our enemies. Dr. Aafia Siddiqui's case is one that has captured the conscience of a people and the imagination of the world. She has become a symbol and a symptom of all that is wrong in the so-called war on terror, and a demonstration and evidence that this war on terror does not recognize the difference between innocence and guilt, does not recognize the difference between a man and a woman, or between children, or between the concepts of justice or injustice. Dr. Aafia Siddiqui's case is one that all of us feel an affinity to, wherever we happen to be from. And that is why on this day, whether you're in Canada, Australia, Pakistan, or the United Kingdom, wherever in the world you happen to be, and you happen to be part of the Muslim Ummah and the community that surrounds it, you will become aware of the case of this woman. This woman who was disappeared from her home with her children in Pakistan in 2003, and remained disappeared up until 2008, where she was said to have reappeared and was captured and arrested by Afghan authorities in the city of Ghazni, Afghanistan, and where it is alleged that she tried to, with her own child present, somehow take hold of an American automatic weapon of an M16 and attempt to shoot an American soldier, but missed in the process. However, in response to that, the American soldier shot and wounded the sister and left her in a state where she required hospitalization. After this, bizarrely, she was sent to the United States of America and was tried and convicted for the attempted murder of an American soldier. For most of us, people who were held in the custody of the United States of America, whether it was in Bagram, whether it was in a secret detention site or in Guantanamo Bay, we know full well that according to the standard operating procedure that's employed by the US military, it is almost impossible to envisage a sort of situation whereby a prisoner, a strong, grown man, let alone a weak, emaciated woman, would be able to grab hold of a US automatic weapon and fire it with free, unshackled hands. In all the years that I was held by the Americans, and in all the years that I've known people who've been held by them, I've never once come across any individual, any man, who was ever able to take hold of a weapon from an American soldier. And yet the forensic evidence is completely contrary to what was shown allegedly happened in the case of Dr. Aafia and the alleged attempted shooting of the soldier. But what's important, brothers and sisters, is also to note that not only are the evidences in the case of Dr. Aafia extremely suspect, but the fact that how is it that after hundreds of American soldiers have been killed in Afghanistan and Iraq, none of the culprits, none of the accused of having committed those acts were ever taken to the United States of America to be tried and convicted for killing, let alone attempting to kill, an American soldier? Who gave the Americans the authority? Who gave them the jurisdiction to come into a Muslim land, first of all, and then to come into this Muslim land and then take from this land a Muslim woman who has no protector except Allah. But not only that, who gave them the authority to rip apart a woman from her child? Who gave them the authority to hold children in custody? We know that Dr. Aafia Siddiqui has 3 children. We know that one of those children was, alhamdulillah, returned before, at the time when she was held in custody in 2008. What we don't know, though, however, is what became of her 2 youngest children, Suleiman and Maryam. One of the rumors that has now become more than just a rumor is that her youngest child, in fact, Suleiman, died in prison, in custody, when she was detained by the Americans and held in Afghanistan. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that this rumor is not true, and I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protects her and her family and her children. But it would be unsurprising, knowing that children are also regarded in this great war of terror as collateral damage. And what is one child in comparison to the hundreds of children that they have already killed, and to the thousands of men and women who have been killed, let alone the ones that remain in lands, dark dungeons operated by the United States of America or their proxy governments in, sadly for us, mostly the Muslim world. What would stop them from doing that act to simply one more child? The shame, though, brothers and sisters, is upon us as individuals. We were the ones who were supposed to have stood for the rights of Dr. Aafia Siddiqui, for the honor and for the respect and for the dignity of this woman, which carried in it the dignity of our own mothers and our own sisters and our own daughters.